иначе я просто буду говорить, потому что так проще, ладно? Если что, потом перезапишешь, мне нужен первый дубль, ладно?
Хорошо.
Okay. Alright, so as you guys know, climate change is a topic that causes a lot of controversy, and it's usually very difficult for us and our students to talk about it because we don't know too much or we feel guilty about it. And also there is a general distrust of science, I guess, in the modern world. And we have a unique opportunity today to talk to an actual polar researcher, scientist, who also happens to be my boyfriend, Nikita. So Nikita is a polar researcher. I'm hoping that that's the accurate term.
Almost accurate.
Almost accurate. He's been a part of many historic expeditions to the Russian Arctic. And he's actually, tonight, he's sailing off for Antarctica, which is, for him, that's a unique thing. That's his first trip.
It's other part of the globe.
Yeah, it's on the other pole because there are people that's actually true that there are people who don't really know the difference between the South Pole and the North Pole. My grandmother, for one. So it's far away and it's a long trip, and that's new for us because I'm used to the Arctic expeditions where I at least know approximately where he's at on the map. So we decided to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about some of the most common myths and get some first-hand evidence from an actual expert. The first one is climate change isn't really happening.
Well, yes, it is. It's happening. To open a bit this subject, we need to dig in the history. Long history from our Earth,
Origin?
Origin. Let's say that. So when it all started with our planet, we had different temperature regimes and different types of climate and everything. For example, well-known dinosaurs who were living in tropic climates almost everywhere on our planet. But then you probably heard about ice ages and then warmer times. So we have some periodic climate change on our planet. But along with this, scientists discovered the humanity actually contributes a lot in this from technical revolution, or how it's called?
Technological advancement,
Yeah.
technical revolution.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so with the growing of population of our planet and with the improving our technologies in wide sense of this word, so we're influencing on this climate change more and more. Yes, we have climate change, and yes, we really contribute in it.
Right, but isn't it a natural process? We're one of we are the dominant species. We're top of the food chain. Shouldn't the planet adapt? The animals and plants, shouldn't they be able to adapt to the pace of the change?
Before us, it was like that because these climate changes were really slow. Slow in means of evolution. So different species, plants, animals, and everything that we have living, it adapts slowly due to this evolution, natural
process.
Yeah, natural process.
Mm-hmm.
And with our people, humanity influence, all these changes started to be more quick, and so the evolution cannot be so fast, and that's it's just in simple words that we're changing our climate fast enough not to let evolution to adopted it. So in this case, we moving vulnerable species to extinction. Yes, faster. So during evolution, some species evolve, some species extinct. This is normal process, but nowadays this probably gets, I wouldn't say worse, but it changed in terms of more species to extinct in some part of time.
So the intensity and the pace, the extent at which.
Yes.
Well, I mean, some will go extinct. Why should I care? I'm living comfortably in an urban setting. It's a future problem, isn't it? Those species dying out and the temperature rate rising.
There are two answers on this question, ethic, moral, or something, and really practical. I suppose the second one is more interesting for you, as for people who are living right here, right now, because the moral one is really for the next generations. Even if climate change will go with the same intensity or even faster, on our age, it will be enough for us. Probably by the end of our century, there will be some floods, more of different weather anomalies, or lots of other not really good things for us. But for our kids, grandkids, and so on, they will, with the evolving of our technology, our progress, they probably will adapt for that. But like I said, the different species, animals and plants, they probably won't. So, and for the practical thing, the answer is that we now have like a status quo for now, like the certain amount of people, certain amount of like cows, trees, and something like that, which actually supports our life. So we need some plants to have oxygen for breathing. We need some food, different one, and with the extinction of different species, we will at some point be a lack of it. So it will not happen like at the moment, but still we will feel it at some point.
And actually, climate change has been called like a policy problem from hell, because how do you get people to know that it's happening? Especially because, all those scientists like you guys in the Arctic and the Antarctic, you're just out there measuring something, like, I don't know, scraping the ice or whatever. How does this how do we get people to listen? That's the question. How do we make it visible for them?
Yeah, that's the problem. The usual answer for how do you think what the climate change is and how do you feel it is that well, I don't know, I don't feel it, because
there's snow in my backyard. Like winters are still cold.
Yeah.
Is it really warming?
Yeah, will you feel like difference of half a degree, during the day, in the morning, or in the afternoon, you will have like spread of like 5-10 degrees maybe, and what's the half of degree means for that? But globally, it really means a lot, and there is no like simple answer how to feel it. You actually need to dig a bit in this subject, because it's about the future. It's about the how close to us this changes, and how we can actually see them. What we measure in Arctic and Antarctic and like all over the globe, all these temperatures and all other environment
Effects?
Mm.
What,
like
metrics?
yeah, metrics. This is actually because we like collecting data for statistics and so on, so on, so on. So then we can calculate trends and how one parameter influence another one, and how they both influence third one, and so on, so on. What for the examples? The Arctic. It's basically the area on our globe which feels climate change like 2-4 times greater than the other globe. This calls actually Arctic enhancement or something like that. Or Arctic intensification. This is because we have our water, which is freezing around 0 degrees, melting and melting at the same point. And if you have like ice at -1 degree, I mean like fresh ice. And then you have changing in temperature for 1 degree, then in the same place you will not have the ice, you will have water. And this is very much important for the different organisms who live near this ice, inside it, or like somehow connected with it. Like for instance, some fish usually like reproduce in ice-free conditions, and ice-free conditions usually start in the rivers or lakes at like some like spring month, let's say May for some regions, and then you suddenly have your ice melting in April, and so fish will start to reproduce earlier, and they will have more long period to evolve and so on. But like different carnivores will eat it earlier, so it will shift like all the processes, biological one, in like unpredictable way, I would say, because some processes we still not studied like that much to understand that good how it will work like later on and on. How it works slowly, well, like not that slow like previous, like this periodic climate change natural one did, but faster, but still like slowly in means of human lifetime. Like other example, you've probably heard about the Great Barrier Reef near the Australia, and we have the corals that forms that reef, and these corals they are made of calcium and like roughly, and it takes like hundreds of years to build this kind of reefs. But if you have your water, the pH of water like in second digit changed like to the more acidic value, then it will the water itself will like not melt, like dissolve these calcium things. It will be not that fast process, it's really slow, but it's still faster than coral can grow. So we have decreasing this like mass of the coral reefs, and these coral reefs, it's really like the big home for like a huge amount of species, like both plants, fishes, and other animals who can live there. So with just small shifting of pH level of seawater, we will have the like extinction of like thousands of species of different animals and plants in the ocean. And this is a problem because at some point it will end up with the extinction of fish that you ate actually. So this is how actually it like connected with each other, like through the like lots of different steps. Well, there are like plenty of other examples, but I probably
I'm already
talk
depressed
too much.
enough, honestly. I mean, you know, just to give you guys an insight of what I'm feeling. Like, we talk about this a lot as teachers. We watch those videos with our students, and it's all, you know, it feels like it's very removed from our immediate, you know, concerns. But to like, you know, like we've been together for like how many? 6 years, I guess. And polar science is like my, you know, like everyday background. But right now, like to have you talk about this, it makes it very legitimate, and that's kind of scary, I gotta say. So, you know, my concern is, as an educator, lies more in this area of how do we get people to care, because this, I mean, I consider myself to be an intelligent person, and this was kind of hard to, like, not just listen to because it's very emotional, but also because it's such a complex thing. Is there a way to dumb it down, maybe, especially when we're up against figures like Donald Trump denying climate change? Is there a way to get through to people?
Well, the only thing that humanity actually can do is to try to get back in terms of like all these CO2 emissions and garbage and everything, to that times that we were before we started to influence that much on our planet. How we can do, it's not a simple question. It's like economical, political, maybe. It's I would say not my business, but like as a citizen of our planet, I can probably do something on my own. It's not that much, but I think if everyone can make I don't know, just a little bit for that, then just do. So, and that's how it works. They're arguing about the like how much personally we can do and how much like corporations and so on. And yes, actually they potentially can do a lot, much more than we can. But this is, as I said, like political thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, mentioning the like getting back to
Individual impact, small steps. Yeah. Well, see, it's a very complicated matter.
Well, one comment about like the things that I've said, like examples and so on. It will be good if you will check what I've said, because there are two reasons. Actually, I'm an oceanographer and not a climatologist. It's both earth sciences and like it's close to each other, but still the climatologists, they are more professional in this. It's better to listen like real experts in that case. The second thing is that there are scientific journalists who like normal journalists, but they are delivering you news from science. and some of them specializing in climate in earth sciences. So yeah, follow them and you will know a lot about this subject.
Mm-hmm. So in this sea of fake news, misinformation, there are still sources of like actual scientific evidential truth that we can rely on. Yeah, it's just that, you know, my problem with it is you have to be like really conscious, I guess, really intentional about it. I'm not sure if in this bombardment of information that we get on a daily basis from social media as is, I would want to seek out more information about climate. That's not really a question, it's more of a, you know, grievance, I guess, against the modern world. So yeah, like we need to educate ourselves. I think that's the takeaway, isn't it? Look for legitimate sources. All right, so then to finish on a positive note, if that's at all possible, what's the most fun part of being an Antarctic researcher?